So this is my amazing canna garden. These cannas are ostensibly Canna Musaefolia. To be perfectly honest, canna taxonomy is really messed up and mixed up. But in any case, that's what these are supposed to be. There is some variation in them. Actually, there's a tremendous amount of variation in them, but they're all large and they all have small wild type flowers. So this is what your wild type of canna flower looks like. It's small and it's definitely a hummingbird pollinated type of flower. These species type wild types set prolific, prodigious amounts of seed. I did go through last night and picked most of the seed off. Canna seed is basically the size of buckshot. It's seriously big, heavy seed, and it was, in some cases, used to be called Indian shot. Here's some pods I didn't get. Yeah, there's some seeds. You see the seeds are quite large. They're very hard, they're very heavy. All of these plants that you see here, I grew from seed that I started in January. And let's get in here and look at the base. Most of these things we're looking at 12, 15 or more shoots on these, and probably some massive rhizomes, although I haven't dug any up to see. Typically this species does make massive rhizomes. I think these rhizomes are potentially edible, which is the next step, but I want to wait till after the plants frost off and then I'll dig these guys. But canna's lots of fun to grow. I did a video before about Musa basjoo, and that has a lot of potential to be used for things like wrapping leaves to steam dumplings or tamales. But I think these Canna Musaefolia could be used as well if you're in a climate where you can't readily grow Musa basjoo. The canna rhizomes can be easily overwintered, or you could even grow this from seed, and you can see what a tremendous... This is 1 year's growth from seed, albeit starting these in January. Let's get a little look here at some of the differences. Most of the flowers are done, but we can see some of the differences here, I think. So I'll show you some flowers here. And some leaves. I mean, this is a dark leafed, dark stemmed one. We get down here, these are green leafed, green stemmed ones, which to my eye generally seem to have a little smaller leaves and usually seem to have a little lighter colored flowers. See, that's more of a peachy color. I like that quite a bit. But I really do like cannas. And in a moment here, I'll show you some other cannas as a comparison. These somewhat sad characters here are also cannas. These are dwarf ornamental cannas that I grew from seed. These aren't any particular seed variety or series. These are just open pollinated seedlings that I've been working with, trying to hope that I can find something interesting. And you can see, compared to the Musaefolia, the flowers are much larger, although the best vegetatively propagated varieties would have much better flowers yet. But these don't set seed. You can see there's no seed pods. These ones here will probably end up aborting, and that's a shame, but it means these are basically a dead end. If you can't get seeds, you can't breed really from them or move forward with them. And these three are extremely similar. They all had these rosy pink flowers, and they're all about knee-high growth habit to me. They were actually quite nice earlier in the season. I don't know that they're nicer than anything else out there on the market. There's plenty of other cannas like this. But
hi, Dad.
Hello, guys. In any case, see ya. This is just a comparison. So these are knee-high dwarf cannas with no seed pods. So I also wanted to talk a little bit about how tall are these Musaefolia cannas. Of course, they do vary a little bit as far as how tall they are, but I have about a 9-foot reach, and I'd say the tallest ones are probably just about 10 feet tall. I'd say they average more like 7 or 8 feet. So these are very impressive, absolutely really impressive plants. It'll be a real shame to see these things get frosted off, so hopefully that doesn't happen, but just in case. As you can see, the cannas are totally frosted off and dead. It's early November. I'm trying to start to dig these things. I'm running into a challenge, which is that digging up some of these is like digging up a small tree. The first one I dug, just to get it up out of the ground, took me about 5 minutes. And the roots essentially are impossible to separate without breaking them. That's not useful. The second one I've dug here, this is the best ornamental cultivar out of this year's seedlings. And this wasn't terrible. It's actually a pretty compact plant. It's not crazy. If I was wanting a root producing one, this is only mediocre at best. The roots are not that big. You can see the neighboring variety produces much larger roots. So this one is definitely the best in terms of ornamental characteristics, but it's not the best root producer. But I don't know if I'm going to have time to dig up all of these to compare them. I think what I'll have to do is just check a little bit to see which ones are potentially the best root producers and just take some side shoots. It's going to be so problematic to dig these things up and separate them that I think that I just can't even do it. There's not enough time. So I'll continue this again in a bit. These are really lovely looking roots though. I always enjoy this, especially on these dark foliaged cannas. Bronze ones have these great attractive tubers and shoots. You can see this one is really cool.